downtown Indianapolis. We are back, Whitestown, Indiana, the place to be. The Little League World Series inching closer to Williamsport, Pennsylvania. A festive atmosphere already underway. Kentucky and Illinois now part of the Great Lakes region here in Whitestown, in what should be a competitive and entertaining matchup between these two Little League organizations. The Central Region Complex, indeed, the place to be on this Saturday evening. Lance Cormier, Roy Philpott, and sunny skies have been the name of the game today. Burbank, Illinois, Grange, Kentucky, getting set to go toe-to-toe, and really very close to Williamsport, considering the Great Lakes region isn't the deepest region in terms of number of teams. So you win a couple of games, you'll be punching your ticket.
Yeah, pass easy, right? A couple games you're in there, but this is right here. What are the nerves going to look like? Because this is their first game. We've had a couple games in the Midwest region, but for the Great Lakes, who's going to come out a little stiff, a little tight? Who's going to come out relaxed and ready to play ball? We got great storylines to talk about today, including a couple of twins that are doing their thing, both on the mound and behind home plate. Tanner Seaman and his twin brother Connor, they call themselves the dynamic duo. At least that's what they told the local newspapers, to the surprise of the rest of the team. But we'll go with it tonight, because how cool is that? Brother, pitcher, catcher, twins to boot. Pretty special. Well, we just talked about, right, nerves and how is that going to affect. But when you have your twin brother behind the dish, I mean, that's a way to be able to just settle down. There's some familiarity there that you're like, okay, hey, that's my guy right there for me. Oh, they'll wire them up so the pitches can be called. Going to take it next level here. This Kentucky organization just about set and ready to go. Take a look at the continuous batting order. Burbank, Illinois. Zaragoza, Soto, and Mendez will also get the start on the mound, set to lead things off. Winner of this game faces the winner between Ohio and Indiana. That game will take place Monday night in prime time on ESPN. The winner's bracket final. First pitch served into center field for a knock. And a good start now, trying to advance to second, and doing so, Zaragoza. Well, he caught him snoozing. So a knock and an error. Give that to E8, the runner in scoring position on just one pitch. Don't seem to be too many nerves right here, Mr. Zaragoza. First pitch he sees, little line drive to center field and putting some pressure on the defense. Raiden Soto, the hitter from Kennedy Elementary. His artwork was featured prominently on the cover of the Kennedy yearbook. Standout baseball player and artist. The inside edge to even account a ball and a strike. Wind is shifting towards right field this evening. That's the first time we've seen it in that direction. Fourth game that we've called here. Central Region Complex. Yeah, it's been going straight out when it does blow, so see how that plays with the ball pushing to right field. 3 balls and a strike. Love the mechanics so far from Tanner Seaman. Just nice and quiet, not trying to do too much. Simple little leg lift. Twin brother Tanner will set up on the outer edge. Swatting foul, full count. World Series in Williamsport beginning August 19th. It'll be here before you know it. And the payoff on the outer corner, and a called strike. I think Soto thought he was going to be given the free pass. Instead, it's back to the dugout, and the first strikeout for Tanner Seaman. Yeah, we've talked about pitcher's pitch, hitter's pitch. How about the umpire's pitch? Given a little bit off the plate. Give some credit to the Seaman brothers. Babcock calling balls and strikes, volunteer umps.
Brown over at first base. Oakley at second.
First little glimpse of the breaking ball. Just enough to keep you off balance.
Here's Showtime Mark Mendez. No moment too big for him. Into foul territory, and twisting and turning was Wyatt Husband. Ethan Hodge and Henry Baker. Kind of a triangle of Kentucky defenders out there. Oh, and 2. Mark, an avid fan of great Frank Ocean. Bottom fell out, ball 1. Back-to-back strikeouts. This Illinois team, explosive, outstanding pitching. Their path to make it here to Whitestown. 6-0 in the state tournament, almost 9 runs per game. You mentioned the pitching. Clark Gardunia, nicknamed Clarky, middle name is Kent. Served into center field, good piece of hitting. Rounding third and coming home. Here comes the ground, it's cut off. And Illinois out in front. Zaragoza touching home plate, and emotions running high.
Well, it's just getting the party started right here. The boys from Illinois, a little sharp single up the middle. And in scoring position, scoring easily right here, 1-0. Siemens trying to mix in a little slide step, and then he picks up the leg high. Worked last batter, but right there, Gardinio was definitely ready for it.
Alexandro Rubalcaba, the hitter. Pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Liberty Junior High. Lancey says he's got a lot of Rubik's Cubes.
Okay. Did he say how fast he could do it?
Individuals that can do that in like,
I guess if he
less.
He says he has, like, can he, first we need to find out, can he get it done? I'm sure he can. But yeah, when you watch those guys like that do it in like, what, 12 seconds?
How?
I mean, there's certain things that you do for the Rubik's Cube, and you just keep doing them. But they know how to do them so fast. I don't know. You just take the stick off.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I was thinking. It's all yellow. That's right. That was legit.
Why is this side black? I don't know.
Little tapper right over the mound and trickles into center field. Rubalcaba aboard. Gardunio now at second base. Another runner in scoring position.
Number 6, second baseman, Alonzo Melceno.
Gardunio at second base. He'll save his dad joke until later on in the show, but it is worth waiting for. Don't you dare turn that digital channel.
Hey, keep it here, because the dad joke will be worth it.
Alonzo Villaseñor. Call him Zo. Basketball, baseball, football, and soccer standout. He plays them all. Illinois with a chance to do some major damage. Now a hitter's count. A pitch that was very close. See if they give him the green light.
I like the command from Tanner Seaman. You can see he does a good job of using that glove side, paying that four seam down and away.
opposite field. 3-2. 23 pitches in for Tanner Seaman. Twin brother Connor behind home plate. Illinois a 1-0 lead. 2 aboard. Ready to go for the payoff. One hop to second, flips it over to shortstop Corbin Phillips. Nice job for Ethan Hodges to retire the side. Clark Kent Gardunio. Rock solid his first plate appearance, Lance.
Yeah, boy. Nice sharp single up the middle. Zaragoza from second scores nice and easy. Look at him racing the roof, pumping the crowd.
Bottom of the first inning, Illinois leading Commonwealth of Kentucky by a score of 1-0. Lance Cormier, Roy Philpott. Batting order for the team from North Oldham Little League in LaGrange. Philip Seaman and Craig will lead things off. Continuous batting order 1 through 13. And they will be facing flamethrower on the mound for this Illinois organization, Mark Mendez. Welcome to the big show. They call him Mr. Showtime. No moment too big. That will be on full display this evening.
I remember that. No moment too big. This spot on the mound, but also look at that special talent singing. So that's the Showtime coming out. But yeah, going to rely heavily on a fastball above average velocity.
I feel like you're a good singer.
No. You pegged that one totally wrong.
It's the second thing I've been incorrect about you today.
In the car, maybe, with nobody in there. In my head, I think I might be.
Leadoff man is Corbin Phillips. A complete game run rule victory. Their way to make it this far here to Whitestown. Goes by Smiley because he's always in a good mood. Great hitter, incredibly fast. Table setter. Off-speed pitch stays out of the zone, even counters. Always important to get off to a fast start. Illinois has achieved that. Hoping that Mendez is able to back up. Good offensive showing in the top of the first inning. Chill on the mound. Fly ball left center. That's going to drop all the way to the wall. Phillips thinking about 3. Here comes the throw. It is off target and a leadoff triple for Kentucky.
Well, Roy, you talked about it last game that we saw how many triples we've seen in this park. And how about Corbin Phillips? A little cutter, had a little cut, not enough. Phillips, boy, beautiful swing right here. Leans back on that ball, and man, out of the box, the leadoff hitter smelling 3. If they hit the cutoff, man, you never know. But once the ball gets overthrown, Phillips in there easy.
That's the infield comes in for Tanner Seaman at the first pitch strike. A lot of fireworks early in this one.
To help yourself out in the first inning. To giving up a run, you got an opportunity to tie the ball game up.
Tanner's the dog of this team. To shortstop, they'll throw it over. Run scores. We're tied at 1. Now Tanner gets the job done. The ground out for the shortstop, Mario Diaz.
It was weird to see the infield in Roy in the first inning, so I thought that was a great play by Diaz. Getting the ball, he was a little bit to his backhand, so easily just goes to first base, not trying to do too much. I mean, it's a 1-1 ball game now.
You didn't want him throwing.
No, you try to go home, all of a sudden you create an error, this, that, and all of a sudden a big inning happens. So take the out when you can get it.
Billy Beane would agree. Breaking ball stays high. To Easton Craig. Swings it well, low and away. 8 games in this regional site between the Great Lakes and the Midwest. 3 have had a team lead off the contest with the triple. Ballpark conducive for the 3 baggers.
Well, they're playing, the outfield plays a little shallow. I mean, Corbin Phillips, when you look at the stature, you're thinking, all right, he probably didn't have enough pop-up. Boy, he showed you. Looks can be deceiving.
That's been a consistent theme in the games that we've seen.
One thing I wanted to mention early when we saw kind of the road for the boys from Kentucky, how they got here. You said they almost scored 9 runs a game, but they also almost give up 4 a game. So they're used to maybe falling behind, or, you know, pitching without the lead, doing what they need to do. So it just showed after giving up 1 in the first, they answered back.
Craig trots down first on the free pass. 1 away in a tie ball game. Brandon Berry's the manager for Kentucky. The coaches Gary and Matthew T. Lifelong Little Leaguers. More on their story as we go deeper into the night here. Henry Baker due up next. Coach Berry said he grows about 2 inches a week, it feels like sometimes. He's got to be standing at close to 6 feet tall now. He's beyond 5'9". Curveball, couldn't turn it over. And that's going to put Craig at second.
You know, Roy, we heard so much about the velocity and the fastball, and we have seen a ton of all-speed pitches here early. Something when a coach sees that leadoff hitter turn on that fastball, drives it into the gap, makes you question your heater, but that's a hit.
Glass is on. Trying to power through before the sun sets here in Whitestown. Big cut by Baker. And is able to get it right past him. Baker known for his leadership with this team. 2-2. As a pitcher, was it started out maybe struggling with the control, with the confidence? Did it take just 1 pitch maybe to get it back on track for him?
You're exactly right. It's 1 pitch, so it's that hitter. I mean, right there, that's just trusting the fastball. And so he went away from, and for the most part, I don't think he's struggling with location. He's all over the plate, just missing by a little bit. Right here, just rear back, trust the fastball, let it eat. He climbed the ladder. The first one was lower, then it went a little buck. Then he got that one for the punch out.
Wyatt Husband, the hitter. He's not blasting dingers. He's working on the farm fishing. Loves being outdoors. Gets along with everybody, according to his coaching staff, and his favorite meme is 6'7". You're a big 6'7" guy.
Yeah, bring it back.
Bring it back?
It's coming back.
Did it ever leave?
I think it did a little bit. The kids would say it left, but with the parents, I don't think it did.
That's valid.
You always, anytime someone says the word, even though you don't do the motion, in your head, everybody's going to repeat it.
Where did it start? Somewhere on TikTok?
Hey,
I'm thinking 2.
6'7".
You know, there was another 6'7", it was 41 for a minute. That tried to be a thing.
Yeah, that's my oldest son at Auburn. That's his number, and so kids would run up to him, "Hey, you're 41."
That was a big deal for LJ.
Yeah. They would do it. Like 41 goes like side to side, and they would just do it to him, and he was like, "Oh gosh."
Ball and 2 strikes. Started back in 2024. That seems early. I think I first heard about it maybe winter of 2025, like right as the calendar turned. I was a little bit behind there, I think.
Oh, we are older than these kids. We should be behind.
Most grown-ups, I think, would fall into that category. I still do it, and a lot of times I get the eye roll in my house.
Without a doubt.
2 teenage daughters will do that.
All right, look right here for Mark Mendez to just climb the ladder. The fastball's been good. They're a little late on it. Knowing it's a 1-2 count, I got a pitch to spare. I'm going to go above the belt, get that ball around the letters.
Mark Mendez, a ball and 2 strikes. Would love to close out this frame with back-to-back strikeouts. In the dirt to the backstop. Zaragoza couldn't find it for a moment. Runner will advance to third.
This is a backstop that the padding, it hits the right thing, it can bounce back to the catcher. So if you're on the bases, you got to be ready for that quick bounce back. But Zaragoza not able to pick it up, and Craig moves on third.
Could be a coach. Caught that curveball. You never wanted to go in coaching?
I thought about coaching. I mean, we coached some Little League stuff. Obviously, coached my son coming up, but anything above, you know, it just takes so much time. Especially when you think in high school how much you have to take care of just the field. And that'll
be the fun part.
Yeah.
Full count, quality take by Husband.
Yeah, really good take. I mean, watch how deep he sees that ball, just watches it all the way in.
9 pitches in. Just 1 batter. 25 down the frame for Mendez. The paint the black didn't get the call. Runners at the corners. Wyatt Husband able to find his way to first base. An epic clash with Mendez on the mound. Lincoln Schletter, nicknamed the Quiet Killer, Quiet Assassin, one of the nicest kids you'll meet, according to this veteran coaching staff. Matthew Teague will talk things over on the Kentucky side.
There's some frustration with Zaragoza and Mendez. The battery for Team Illinois just nibbling a little bit, barely missing on the plate. Felt like he might have made that last pitch, but Husband had a great eye.
You rarely hear that.
Husband had a great eye.
At least in my house.
See if the Quiet Killer can come through in the clutch.
To the backstop, that may score another run, and let's see. No, Craig wisely retreats back to third. And also, Husband gets back to first base. Very loud ball 1. Wheels were in motion there for a moment. Schletter hit 2 home runs in the playoffs, including a grand slam. Breaking ball high. And now the throw into right field. And let's see, no, home plate umpire is saying that's not going to happen. And Schletter's going to be called out. Well, that is a massive moment early in this one. He's standing in the back of the batter's box, and you see the throw went right off the helmet of Schletter. Watch this.
Yeah, he doesn't He doesn't move. It's not like he gets into the way.
Well, you wonder why the ball went where the runner was. I was thinking, was he trying to throw it to the runner?
I thought he like tried to pause the throw, but now we can see obviously one that goes to second base.
I don't know that I've seen that one before. As the first inning comes to an end. We'll step aside and attempt to make sense of this after this. Top second tied at 1, Illinois and Kentucky. Lance Cormier, Roy Philpott. This is how the bottom of the first ended moments ago with runners at first and third. Watch this. The ball, an attempt to throw from the catcher, Zaragoza. On the release, it hits Schletter in the batting helmet. He's standing in the back of the batter's box. The out is recorded 2 unassisted as a result on the interference, but my thought would be he's standing right there. Does he not have ownership of that space, and should interference be called in a scenario like that?
I'm thinking right along with you, because it's not like he steps back to get into the way of the throw. He literally held his ground.
So the scoring threat comes to a close. Burbank Little League back up to bat. If you're wondering where is Burbank, Illinois, southwest of Midway International Airport, southwest of Union Station in Chicago. And a strikeout as Seaman battles back, and a good start for him in the top of the second. Alex Winters walk off in the championship, beaming with confidence. You say you come to the ballpark, inevitably you're going to see something you've never seen before.
Yeah, that was one of them.
It's not a play that is reviewable, challengeable. Take a secondary look at. I think we were all kind of looking to see when that was going to happen. Weirdest play you were ever involved with? Is there one that stands out?
Let's get back to that. What do you think?
Party swing by Winters, 2-1. Some ground rule double or.
Yeah, there's been plays where balls got stuck in the ivy. That one of those types of things comes to mind.
Wrigley. There's no ivy anywhere else, or even when you were playing, that I can think of, right? See Seaman developing a little bit more of a rhythm.
He just does a good job with the down and away, whether it's the glove side or arm side, just commanding the bottom of that zone.
left side to Winters. Down to first base.
Number 20, Dorian Sandate.
Dorian Sandate out in front. Dorian also says he plays competitive wiffle ball. They call him the RBI machine.
That's one of those, growing up as a kid, aren't we all playing competitive wiffle ball? Because, I mean, if you're playing wiffle ball, you better be competing out there.
T-ball picture, classic. I mean, classic. Let's go. Let's go. You know Dorian appreciates that, too.
How about the matchup job with the gloves to the bat and the wristband? I love it.
Breaking ball, floats across for a called strike 3. 4 strikeouts and counting for Tanner Seaman.
Well, we're watching a true pitcher
Batting 10th, number 9.
mixing pitches, changing speeds.
What was that pitch?
A curveball on the inside part, front door hook. Like that. When it's done properly, it looks like the hitter thinks it's coming at them. They're going to move that front shoulder, buckle a little bit.
Just ducking away. Way up here in our broadcast position with that last offering. Matthew Swerzinski. Beater in the dirt. This game has had more drama than a junior high lunch table to start. A little bit of everything. Little blooper into left field, and it's down for a hit. Swerzinski only plays baseball. Favorite sport by far. Loves to warm up with dad in the backyard before every single game, and a good piece of hitting there into left field.
I was about to say, no doubt he warmed up with Pops, probably in the hotel parking lot or something, because it's not the backyard here. But you know, obviously, if you don't do that, you're not getting a hit. So him getting that knock.
Illinois 3 for 4. RBI and 2 outs thus far. Huelos, the hitter out of Liberty Junior High. Marco says he would buy a house if we won the lottery. Marco, I would too. I'd buy a couple. One at the beach, one in the mountains, one wherever else. Buy 3. That's all I need.
Wherever else, is that your primary? Are you going to buy it where you live, or are you just thinking about somewhere else?
Yes.
Okay.
Ask me when I win the lottery.
I'm with you with the beach. Maybe even a lake house too.
Not a big lake guy. I'm more of an ocean guy, or I want to go skiing.
Okay.
Maybe somewhere in the great Northwest. Beaches of South Carolina somewhere.
What kind of lottery we win? We were in the big one, because as I was driving from the airport, I saw the big one's by 890 million.
Well, I mean,
you buy what we want.
Man's going to take half of that from the jump, right? So you divide that by 2. Good AB for Huelos.
We could get you a good advisor, maybe talk about that. Find some ways to save on some taxes.
That would be critical. Bases are loaded, and now a conversation on the mound. Tanner Seaman. And this becomes a very critical moment in this matchup. Matthew T going to talk things over.
Number 29, Alfredo Baez Jr.
And now a big moment. Alfredo Baez Jr. Wears number 29 because his birthday is June 29th. Loves football, loves baseball, coachable kid. Nickname is AJ, nothing in 1 to count, bases juice. Tap right back to the mound. Tanner Seaman, underhand delivery retire the side. Illinois leaves them loaded.
Talk about making a pitch when you need to right here. Tanner Seaman all on the hands. Field your position, get out of the jam.
Don't forget, you can find Little League on Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Official handle at Little League. Don't forget to use hashtag LLWS, Little League World Series. Lance Cormier, Roy Philpott. Great turnout of fans on hand to watch Kentucky and Illinois. The Great Lakes region here at Central Region Complex, Whitestown, Indiana. And a good game brewing between these two competitive Little League organizations. Burbank, Illinois, North Oldham Little League in Kentucky, in LaGrange. Ethan Hodges will lead things off. Got the start at second base again tonight. Role models his dad, Kenneth. You got to appreciate that and love it. For the 12-year-old. Hodges mainly a middle infielder. He's given this team some good innings on the mound. Interesting thing that the manager told us concerning Hodges. I'm going to pause to give you the quote, Lance, because it is one I haven't heard all that often, but I think we all can relate to. Coach said sometimes he talks so much you want him to shut up.
Thanks, Coach.
But he brings the energy that is needed for this team. We all had a good laugh with that one, and he was laughing when he said it. I wonder if our friend and producer and colleague Jim Z feels that way about us. Jim, we got to talk. That's what you have to. That's what you're paying us to do, Jim.
You get paid by the word, or?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Less is more in our business. Payoff pitch. Mendez with a nod. Kicks and fires. Off speed. No, he whipped it past him, and Hodges couldn't catch up to it.
I love the fact that he is going back to the fastball. To me, too many breaking balls in that first inning, and that at bat really established the fastball down, and then when he got 2 strikes, went up in the zone. You're going to see a lot of chase from the young guys, especially with a guy with that kind of velocity.
Burkhardt squares the bunt, and Braxton pulls it away at the last minute. Still settles in for strike 1. Wide, excuse me. Braxton Anderson the on deck, sir. Coach said that Burkhart's got one of the smartest baseball IQs for a 12-year-old. Kentucky's path to get here to Whitestown, always winding. T-ball picture.
Midland Rockhounds.
Vintage logo there.
AA Texas League.
Struck him out. Foul tip into the mitt. Zaragoza able to hang on to it. Third strikeout of the night for Mark Mendez, who has settled in quite nicely in the second inning. 5-0 in the state tournament, nearly 7 runs per game. Only allowed 8 along the way, Lance. Big presence in the batter's box for Braxton Anderson. His favorite song, Take Me Home Country Roads. I tell you, West Virginia played that song in their regionals. Morgantown Regional. It has just exploded since then, I feel like.
Did it again in the Supers. They even got to play it in Omaha this year. And you're right, it was a cool thing for the fans and the players to get to experience together.
And that has continued through major league ballparks. Started to hear it like Sweet Caroline. Braxton had some of the bigger hits to advance to the district championship in the state tournament. He said if he could talk to any athlete, I think Braxton Anderson thought he hit the glove of the catcher here, and so he kind of points to it, looks towards the coach. Not sure what occurred, but Braxton said he wanted to talk to Michael Jordan. I want to ask him something very specific. How did you deal with getting cut from the high school basketball team?
Great question.
Right?
Great question.
Has MJ ever been asked that? How did you do? I mean, we know what he did afterwards, but like, what was the approach?
Yeah, like after that conversation, like, yeah, what went down after that?
Laney High School, I believe, down in Wilmington, North Carolina. I think that's right.
I'm assuming just he went home, put his head down, got to work, but still, though, just the emotions and the mental portion of what getting cut from a team would be.
Did you watch The Last Dance?
I did.
Everybody did.
I think so. If you haven't, you should. ESPN Plus, probably go find it.
Sounds right. 2-2, Mendez. Outer half, knee high to called strike 3. Run for each team in the first inning, a couple of scoreless frames in the second, and here comes Showtime himself.
Yeah, how about Mark Mendez? Not 1, not 2, but heck yeah, 3 punch outs in the second inning.
Top third inning, tied at 1, Illinois and Kentucky. Lance Cormier, Roy Philpott. Sun will be setting here shortly. Whitestown, Indiana. It's been an eventful day. Began earlier this afternoon for the Midwest and Great Lakes region. Inching closer towards Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Seaman remains on the mound, and Illinois back to work at the top of the order. Zaragoza is the first out.
Two at bats, 2 pitches. Zaragoza coming up there being super aggressive this time. Seaman gets him.
Aiden Soto over to second, and Hodges. 2 pitches, 2 outs.
This would be a mandatory take, maybe even take 2 strikes, because an inning like this gets him back on track. He came into this one 47 pitches after 2 innings.
Mark Mendez was hit by the pitch.
We saw that young Connor Seaman had the earpiece in there, and so we got a curveball being called from the coaching staff on probably a guaranteed take. Although we did see a 3-pitch inning earlier today.
That included an error and a runner reaching. Was that yesterday? Today? Was that 4 days ago?
Yes.
The answer is yes. Dunio takes ball 1. Big knock his last time up, energizing his team. And another big one here into left field, right past McCone. Illinois now with runners at first and second, now with 5 hits in this game, and the pressure builds.
Stays hot at the plate. Gets another good pitch to hit. Boy, gets the head of the bat out, pulls this inside the line. Station to station.
That's 4 of the 5 hits for Burbank Little League, coming with 2 outs tonight. Off speed and low and away. It's close. What are you thinking over there? Rubalcaba's 1 for 1, had to knock his first out.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm just the way he caught the ball and just kind of pushed it out, but I thought that pitch seemed to get enough of the plate.
Tapped is short, takes a funny hop. They'll get the force at second. Corbin Phillips. There was nothing easy about that one. Bottom 3 coming up. We are still tied.
Welcome to Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and a slice of sports paradise. Hammered. God! Up and out of Williamsport.
Are you kidding me? Lay out like a superhero.
Great baseball ahead. Here we go.
Williamsport, Pennsylvania, the place to be. Beginning August 19, a look back at the last 10 champions. Nice run by the States, as you mentioned, Lance. We'll see what happens in just a couple of weeks. Baseball's outstanding. It has started here in Whitestown, Indiana. All those games available, of course, on ESPN. Championship here available on the mothership as well. Good game brewing. Home half of the third inning. Kentucky back up to hit. And Seaman, twin brother of Tanner and Cotter. This is number 4, Cotter receiving his first plate appearance. Was a funny story to hear how the local newspaper came in. You're going, chance to get to Williamsport. Let's do an article on the team. What are some of the interesting stories? Well, we got twin brothers. Battery. Pitcher, catcher, Cotter, Tanner. So they're being interviewed for the paper, for the article. And they refer to themselves, hey, everybody calls us the dynamic duo. Coach is looking around, teammates looking around. Wait, nobody's ever called you that.
Who's everyone?
I mean, it's great thinking on the fly. The alliteration is fantastic. Connor's going to draw a 4-pitch walk.
Number 17, left fielder Sawyer and Madison.
Sawyer Dennison, strong for his size, one of the more even-keeled kids on the team. It's the player that every coach would love to have on his team. Nothing in one. Is that the kind of player you were?
I did things the right way, worked hard. I think everybody that's going to make it past certain levels, you're going to have to be a hard worker to play the game the right way. It was taught to us early at this age, and maybe even a little bit before this, of just how you go about your business, hustling on and off the field.
Dennison has jumped in left field mid-game. Behind in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. 51 offerings now for Mendez. Runner at first base. Trying to chop it one. High, and he comes up empty. Mendez, another strikeout. Number 5 this evening.
I'd be living with the fastball if I was Mendez. I mean, it is until they show that they can get to it consistently, because the velocity behind it, and especially once he gets a chance to go up in the zone, boy, he's getting the good swing and misses.
Joel McCone branded by the team as captain. They call him Cap, or Captain America. As tough as they come, according to Coach Perry. Oh, the T-ball imagery. Anaheim Angels cap.
Look at that, the hat right there. That's classic T-ball photography. Ooh. Zone's shrinking a little bit, but the photographer would you take your picture. The photographer would always walk up and pick up your hat a little bit more in the front because the shadows, and you're like, no. And he's like, there's shadows. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I don't wear my hat like that.
Like a doofus.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing, right? I had a picture of that taken recently of me, where the hat was just a little bit too high, and you just look.
No. I don't.
Silly.
Mom will not care if there's shadows on the eyes if the hat's normal.
I still wear the ball cap pretty low. Not the flat bill. You know, still curving like what was in that picture. It's a long time ago. Maybe that's a problem for me now. Boston Ben.
Were you grab the hat and put it in the back pocket?
I didn't do that. That would have been too much. That was too much. We'd put it in the dishwasher though to try to loosen it up and give it a little wear too. Yeah. Well, you don't want it too spectacular. I mean, it depends on what you're doing and where you're going. Payoff pitch. Big moment here. Tied at 1. Do it again. Be nice if you could still count the out after it ricochets off the net.
Should be like that. Needs to be a part of an animal. I was on TV last night when I got home, and you know, obviously when it gets into the crowd, the fans can catch the ball and get it out.
Yeah.
What if you catch off the net?
I didn't know you were a big banana ball guy.
That was just on, nothing much else.
Called strike 3 in the punch out for out number 2. Strikeout number 6 for Mendez. The shades are on. He has been spectacular tonight.
Another fastball again, trusted down the way. Does a good job with staying on top of that, pounding the zone.
Here's Cooper Berry. Going into the 6th grade. Smallest player on the team, youngest player on the team. One of the best competitors with this Kentucky team. Says he could beat anybody on this team in basketball, with the exception of his buddy Henry. Henry Banker's like 6'8". Man's got to know his limitations, Lance.
But he said, but if they tag team, he's got the outside, Henry's got the inside game.
Wild pitch is going to put a runner into scoring position. Seaman racing down to second.
Marquinhos charging hard from third base. I like the fact that he's staying back now.
He slams that one foul. Strike 2. See Interstate 65 there off in the distance, about 500 feet away. Cars racing by. Time seems to slow down a little bit more watching this sport. America's pastime on a beautiful evening like tonight. Pitch number 64. Gary stays alive. Dapping himself up right here.
I like it.
I like it too.
Pump him up. Hey, building confidence. One thing they've done though is this Kentucky team has really made Mark Mendez throw a lot of pitches. This will be pitch number 65, and we're still in the 3rd inning.
Showed the bunt, pulls it back, full count. Chess match here between Cooper Berry and Mark Mendez. Upstairs for ball 4, a little bat flip on the free pass. The continuous batting order from the 13-hole back to the very top. And Corbin Phillips with 2 runners aboard.
He's had the feeling a Mount Visual is happening. Just the fact that the one guy who really has squared the ball up was Corbin Phillips, and got the Kentucky boys over here pumping the crowd up.
Yeah, Seaman was imploring all the friends and family to their feet, and they were happy to oblige. And you see how big of a moment it is when you cross this threshold. And a pitching change has been made. One more pitch and it would have been one more day of rest required. Want your child to experience the teamwork and the fun of Little League baseball or softball? Visit playlittleleague.org. Enter your address to find a Little League community program near you. Playlittleleague.org. Mendez dealt. Good start. Gave up the early run. He's got his team in position. Kentucky without a hit since that leadoff triple. Ardunio now steps in on the mound. Clarkey, they call him, the 11-year-old.
Need to call him the masher. Clarkey's got 2 at bats and 2 barrels for line drive. See what he can do on the mound right here.
Corbin Phillips. Determined. Focus. Crowd the plate. Upper part of the zone for strike 1. Well, that had a little movement to it. Last Kentucky hit was Phillips' triple to lead this game off. Quickly to the backstop. Courtesy toss to third. Both runners advance. So a ball and a strike to Corbin Phillips with 2. Count them 2 in scoring position.
It's a good stop right there by Mendez. He charged it a little bit because catcher Blake Zaragoza almost double pumped. Didn't know if he should throw it or not.
Turned away from a strike. Now Ardunio strike away from getting out of this mess. Deep breath. Boy, that was almost a different arm slot coming in from the side.
Dropped down a little bit. That was more of a defensive swing. Hit the ball before it hits you.
It's like it's coming right in your ear hole. Tapped to short, waiting on it is Diaz, and the throw gets away. 2 runs will score. Oh my goodness. Kentucky out in front on the E6.
Part of the game that you're taught early, man. Choke up, put the ball in play. You got 2 strikes. Good things can happen. Little ground ball to the shortstop. Diaz hops it, gets to the fence, and 2 runs score. A 3-1 ball game. Kentucky leading.
A couple of unearned runs. Team from Grange the advantage, and here's Tanner Seaman. Serves it to right field, right at Rubalcaba. Damage is done. 3-1 our score. Kentucky with just 1 hit, but a 2-run advantage. Little League Baseball Regionals continue with Little League Around the Bases, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Our whip-around coverage of every region, hosted by Matt Schick, Mike Rooney, Saturday and Sunday from 1 o'clock to 9 o'clock Eastern, and streaming live on ESPN+. All the dulcet tones of one Matthew Schick and the professor himself breaking down, calling all the action. Tremendous here in early August. Well, Kentucky has found a way to scratch across a couple of runs. Top of the 4th inning. Villasenor is now the hitter inside for ball 2. One 5-1 for Illinois. 3-1-1. Kids from the Commonwealth. Phillips at shortstop. He's done it all tonight. Manufacturing essentially all 3 Kentucky runs. And in the 6-hole, outstanding defense.
Number 3, Mario Diaz.
We've seen some outstanding shortstop play, have we not?
We really have. Obviously, at this age, you're thinking your best athlete, ball player is in the shortstop position, and we have been blessed to watch some good ones so far.
Mario Diaz, the hitter, quickly 0-2. Was a pitcher, if you find a way to get a 2-run lead in a game this big, gives you a little bit more mojo out there, doesn't it?
Especially if you can go back up there, shut down inning, put up a 0 on the board.
His 60th pitch. And Diaz was clipped. He'll trot down to first base.
Early on, he had the front door breaking ball working. He keeps trying to go back to it, and this one stays in, stays up.
Number 16, left fielder Alexander Winters.
Alex Winters. It's number 63 and Winters. Wave and a miss. Seaman has scattered the 5 hits that he's given up. And just that one early run in the first inning. And the punch out. 2 away. They're double checking that pitch count right now to see. He's right at 64. So we'll face Dorian Sanday. Try to get his team up.
Last at bat, he went breaking ball early, and then froze him with a heater.
Froze him again. Off speed that time. 0-2. You can feel momentum building for Tanner Seaman on the mound. And it continues. A wave and a miss. And a hat tip for Seaman coming off the mound.
How about the moxie right here, Tanner Seaman? Breaking ball. Here's another one, a little slower. And oh yeah, let the coaches know.
We see you, South Oldham Little League. You want to see us in 2027. Best of luck. Get it done. We can't wait supporting Little League organizations in the great Commonwealth of Kentucky. Love it. Three to one. Bottom of the fourth. Kentucky trying to enhance its advantage. And Ruvel Kaba now steps in as the third pitcher we've seen for Illinois. And a bit of a different delivery. The Rubik's Cube specialist. Claims his special talents are sports and math.
I can see the math with the Rubik's Cube.
Easton Craig, the hitter. It'll be 3, 4, and 5 due up first. Craig, Henry Baker, Wyatt Husband. Popped up foul territory. Should be playable. Dunio is there. Check it, that's Mendez that's now moved over to the hot corner.
Yeah, Gardunio moved over to first.
Thank you.
Number 25, Henry Baker.
Some carousel of sorts in the infield for Illinois. One away for Henry Baker. Did he grow 2 inches since his last plate appearance? Hit by a pitch on the first offering. He'll trot down to first.
Number 24, Wyatt Husband.
And 5 walks are hit by pitches. This Kentucky lineup doing whatever it takes. A lot like the Kentucky Wildcats in the SEC baseball minutes of whatever it takes offense. That's how they play.
Wyatt Husband, the hitter, will come out and maybe have a conversation. That wind up a bit unorthodox, I would argue, to throw a hitter off.
The coach is telling him, okay, straight to the plate, just follow this line down to the plate. From the side, he sees it falling off. A lot of that's due to the front side, that front glove and shoulder.
Everybody back to their starting point. Husband right on top of the plate. One of the players on this team that is always fun to hang out with, according to his teammates. Gets along with everybody.
Yeah, he is all over the dish.
Cobble trying to find that strike zone.
Watch how close he gets that front foot.
Oh, on top of it. As a pitcher, did that bother you?
Yes. Yeah, it's just intimidating because you're like, all right, can I go inside? Because if I go inside, I'm going to hit him most likely. And then if he's doing that, he knows he can reach the outside part of the plate. But if you can get the ball in like this, it puts a little fear there because they think the ball's coming out.
On top of the plate. And a payoff. Driven to left field and dropped by Winters. 37 has runners at first and second.
Top spin liner. This ball was crushed.
Schletter back up to hit. The last time we saw him was one of the wackier plays we've seen this entire weekend.
I'm with you, Lincoln.
He's called out 2 unassisted on a throw that grazed his helmet from the catcher. That one's out of the catcher's mitt to the backstop. Both runners move up, and Kentucky with a chance at a couple of insurance runs here. Close pitch.
I don't know if you can get any closer.
3-0. Walked him on 4 straight. Bases are loaded. A couple of close takes by Schletter. And a chance for Kentucky to blow this game wide open, Lance.
When you look at it, if you're Team Illinois, you've only given up 1 hit, but it's 7 now free passes. And a hit right here in the gap. It'll be a 6-1 ball game with only 2 hits.
Mathematically, that becomes difficult to accomplish.
It's not how you want to approach the game. Now, I do feel like the strike zone might be a tad bit small, a little tight, but again, you got to get the ball over there, challenge some hitters.
Here's Ethan Hodges. Infield, stepping in onto the grass. First pitch strike. Strike 2. Kaba now has found his rhythm, and he needs more of it. Can he do it again? Upstairs to the backstop. Throw hits Baker on the slide into home. 4-1 Kentucky. Henry Baker slides in safely after another wild pitch.
Yeah, nice job right there, Baker. Good read, but even better job of first baseman Clark Gardenero backing up, because that ball hits Baker's helmet and could have cost another run.
Shot in and out of the glove of the shortstop. Diaz, 1 more run will score. 5-1. Say it's a knock and an RBI. It's been a close play at first either way. Wyatt Burkhart, the hitter. Runners at first and second. High and tight for ball 1. Dream job being retired. Join the club. 0 for 1 tonight for Burkhart. Still pretty young, though, before he starts thinking about his 401k.
Doesn't even know what a 401k is, but he's ready to retire and use it.
There's somebody can help him out with that. Fouled away. Great catch somewhere back there, and then the ball rained in from the sky.
He had a one-handed grab in the middle of the stands, and then he just chunks it back over.
It's raining baseballs here in Whitestown. Bases will be loaded again. Burkhardt was hit by that pitch. Tried to duck out of the way, dive away, couldn't do it. Illinois just trying to find a way to get 2 more outs. And a pitching change is in order. Caba's evening on the mound comes to a close. We'll tell you about the new pitcher back in 30 seconds. Bases loaded, 1 out. Kentucky already leading 5-1. Its fans on their feet. Welos steps in on the mound. Marco in charge. Pretty big responsibility here. Trying to stop any further damage from occurring before Kentucky blows this one wide open.
Yeah, the lefty inheriting a tough situation right here. Bases loaded, the crowd's getting involved. Kentucky's already got 2 across in this inning.
And here comes Braxton Anderson.
Now batting number 16, Braxton Anderson.
The loser of this game has a quick turnaround back here tomorrow in elimination bracket contest. Anderson tried to golf one into the outfield. Comes up empty. Braxton had some of the biggest hits. District championship in the state tournament. Came Mr. Clutch. He do it again here. 0-2. Welos has found the zone early. Smack to left field. Ready and waiting is Winners. Is it deep enough to bring home the runner? It is the sac fly. That makes it 6-1. Both runners advance on the throw. And now there's 2 away. So Anderson, the quality AB, and boy, the exit velo was rock solid here. They just had him played perfectly and left.
Yeah, good contact, drives that ball with a nice job getting back. You see the freeze on the line drive. Got a little closer than I thought at home. But a heads up base running by Wyatt Burkhardt when he saw Mark Mendez looking at the umpire. He took second base.
Burkhardt at second, Hodges at third. For Connor Seaman. It feels like one more hit. All of a sudden you start doing the arithmetic and it becomes difficult. Paint a picture for a comeback.
I don't know if you've noticed, we had last batter Braxton Anderson favorite band AC/DC and Connor Seaman favorite band Queen. So we got some historical bands out here.
Tip of the cap to the 1980s. Breaking ball just missed. The bases are loaded again. Sneak that one in through the back door. He comes up empty. Sawyer Dennison on a beautiful Saturday evening in America's heartland. Where else would you rather be? Through the wickets. That'll bring home another run. All runners advance 7-1. And Hodges, the hop, skip, and a jump after touching home plate. Kentucky tonight, 7 runs on 2 hits.
8 walks, hit by pitches combined for the lineup. A couple pass balls, wild pitches, scored some runs.
In and out of the glove of Mendez at third. He'll try to tag the runner, and he does. Well, heads up play. What could have been disaster. As we step aside in Whitestown. Well, that last run and the last sequence of that inning, you'll see the runner touches home plate right before Mendez tags the runner out for the third and final out. What that means is there was one more run that scored, and home plate umpire Larry Babcock indicating that as we went to that final break. So 5 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning, the last one coming on the final out just a half second before the out was recorded. Seaman now the shortstop. He was tested, and he passes that test with flying colors. Give him an A. So a new pitcher to tell you about in Easton Craig. And the starting pitcher, Tanner Seaman, now at shortstop. By the way, did we mention the score is now 8-1?
8-1.
Wheelos the batter. 2 balls and a strike. Well, this game was knotted up at 1 run apiece. It felt like first 3 innings until 2 unearned scored for Kentucky, and then a 5 spot in the next inning to open the floodgates. Wheelos with the free pass his first time up. Make it 2 for 2. Bases on balls department now.
Number 29.
Alfredo Baez Jr., the hitter. Illinois trying to rally. They need some base runners and a couple of clutch hits. The 0-1. Slings it up there low. That's the other thing in baseball. When you go from one pitcher to the next, and the delivery is so different, as a hitter, you have to make that adjustment right away.
At least Craig's a little bit more of a side armor. Different type of breaking ball. Tanner Seaman was just mechanically sound, nice and compact.
Well, how about Seaman's night? Full count.
Did a good job on the mound. 4 innings. Scattered those 5 hits. But this is the one thing that will allow the Illinois team to get back in the ball game.
Bit of a rocky start. 24-23, then 7 offerings in the third before 14. And a total of 68.
That third inning, that 7-pitch inning, allowed him to finish the fourth because he started that last hitter under the 65 pitch limit. So by pulling him, if they make it to the championship game, he'd be able to start that one. If he doesn't have that 7-pitch inning, no way he finishes 4.
Nothing in 2. Zaragoza, the batter. Step out. Now back in. He's got to tie his cleats. It out of here. And the strikeout is out number 2. Zaragoza unable to advance the runners.
Yeah, watch this big break. Oh boy. Last second just falls off the table. Textbook block by Connor Seaman. Goes to the knees, puts the glove in the 5-hole, stops it up nicely.
Didn't have to tag him there. Did so. 0-1, about 15 minutes away from the sun setting. Great state of Indiana. Braden Soto, the hitter. Favorite player, no doubt. Not a surprise, Juan Soto. No relation. 1-2.
Wow, what a block right here. This is textbook catching. Breaking balls down, head down, chest on it.
3 balls and 2 strikes. A 7-run lead. Last thing you want to do is issue a free pass to create a bases loaded situation.
Especially with big Mark Mendez coming up.
On the left field line, slicing into foul territory. Burkhardt unable to catch up to it. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming. In the gap. That's going to drop. It's in for a hit. 1 run will score. A late stride into second base. And Illinois is still in business here. Make it 8-2 with 2 more in scoring position. Mark Mendez now up to hit. And both both sides will recalibrate.
Illinois getting a little production from the bottom part of that lineup. 11 and 12 hole guys worked a couple walks. And Wheelos able to score a run. Baez Jr. going to third base. Good at bat. Worked the 3-2 count, was down early. Shoots one into the left center field gap.
To second, stumbles, fires, and in time. Barry got it done. And what a play to end the threat.
Yeah, what a big out right here. You got 3-0 hitter up, and you get the ground ball. Heck of a play and a great stretch by White Husband.
Bottom of the fifth, 8-2 our score. Lance Cormier, Roy Philpott. Nighttime settling in. Whitestown, Indiana. Great Lakes region opening round, rolling right along. And it's getting late. I know it's getting past your bedtime. Did I say that out loud? I was thinking about me.
Yeah, because it's you. I'm on Central Time still a little bit.
It always surprises me that Indianapolis in this area is not in Central Time.
I wouldn't.
That throws me for a loop.
Glad when you hit the ground, they tell you local time.
Great job to be a fishing guide in Alaska. Some fly fishing, maybe out in the ocean. You can do all kinds of things. Outside of Juneau.
I wonder how that came about. Two-seam action.
Cole steps out, now back in. Three and one. Into center field. Joel McCone, Captain America, out of the 12-hole delivers. Cooper Berry's going into the 6th grade.
Crouch in, Coop. Well, they do a good job of saying, hey, hit it where it's pitched. That ball was shoot right up the middle.
Squares to bunt. Ball gets away. Runner in scoring position.
some leagues, Roy, what Cooper Berry's doing is he, what you would call a slash, shows bunt, pulls back. Actually, that time he tried to bunt. And there's some leagues that you're not allowed to do that for safety purposes, because you don't want the third baseman charging in hard and him pulling back. But here in Little League, he saw it in that first at bat. Cooper Berry would pull it back, but now nobody out. Probably not bunting with 2 strikes.
I would think not. And he isn't. What does he do? A knock into center field. Cone had to wait for it. He advances to third. Cooper Berry out of the 13 hole, going into middle school for the first time. Why not?
It was a beautiful swing. Fastball coming in. He just keeps the hands in. How about that?
Top of the order. Corbin Phillips back at it, 1 for 2 with a triple and a run scored. And he's got plenty of speed. Illinois actually out-hit Kentucky tonight 6-4. 8 versus 2 on the scoreboard. Smack to center. That'll be the first out. See if it's deep enough to play to run. The throw was in time, but the run will count. He was able to get in. And now it's 9-2. And I believe the catcher was blocking home plate.
Yeah, Larry Babcock was calling that before he even slid in. Blake Zaragoza was all overseas. Foot's on the plate, yet blocking the plate. Good pickup, Roy.
Good catch out in center field by Soto. Outstanding throw to get it that far and that accurate.
You can see from that replay, he would have been safe anyway, but the call was made before the out or safe call needed to be made.
To third. Mendez took his time, rightfully so, to make sure he fired an accurate throw across the diamond. He did for out number 2.
Number 13, Easton Craig.
All in all, a solid outing by this North Oldham Little League, Grange, Kentucky. Breaking ball settles in for a strike.
That's good hook. I like this stuff right here by Benuelos. A little slinging, like he lifts the leg. It's, you know, very, very quiet, and all of a sudden his nice whippy arm.
Here's the whip and the strike. Let's see the nene. Well, you were executing that quite nicely here in our broadcast position. Props to you.
Got to keep it fun.
The whip and nene, I think that kind of went out like a decade ago, maybe longer.
Maybe that's one of those that needs to come back.
Maybe like 15 years, maybe 20.
Like everything, I don't know, but like everything, it will come back.
Inside, and it tags Craig. 2015, whip and nene was a thing. Then it wasn't.
That was in our prime.
Number 25, Henry Baker.
Here's Craig. Check that Craig now at first. And Henry Baker hitting cleanup. Craig gets down to second. Got it up at 1 until the bottom of the third inning. Kentucky plates 2 on an error in a 5 spot. Both teams scored a run in the 5th. And Kentucky still hitting. Little league, 6th inning essentially is like the 9th. Illinois will have 3 more outs, assuming that it can get there. It can also get run ruled in the process if you establish a 10-run advantage. Home run by Baker would do that. Instead, he'll knock it into center field. That's going to score 2 more. And Baker digs for third. 11-2. And now a run away from ending it for Kentucky. They brought their fan base with them.
Boy, this is a beautiful swing. Short pass straight to the ball, and he just drives it up to center field. And watch Henry Baker run. Like you said, he grows 2 inches every time he sees him.
Down the left field line. Fair baseball, and that'll do it. Kentucky with a 4 spot to end it. 12-2, the final. Gary Teague, Matthew Teague, Little League lifers, along with manager Brandon Berry, an outstanding job, and this frenzied fan base more than willing to get on their feet.
Boy, how about this? Wyatt Husband climbed the ladder. He knows he's got a little walk-off, but guess what? He said, I'm not stopping at second. I want a walk-off double. Watch the hustle. Watch the hustle. This is an offense that put up 6 hits, had 9 walks and hit batters, and that's how they were able to get to 12 runs and get this 10-run rule.
Updated bracket. Kentucky now awaits the winner between Ohio and Indiana. That game tomorrow, 4:30 Eastern, back here on ESPN+. Michigan and Illinois elimination contest tomorrow night at 7:30. Friends and family on their feet. Be back at it in the Great Lakes region tomorrow at 4:30. For Lance Cormier, I'm Roy Philpott as we say good night from Whitestown, Indiana.